Before we get to the last stages, the virtual reality discussion, well, not discussion, but just a little commentary on the results there, I wanted to show the final model, the thing that I exported into Marmoset Toolbag to do the bakes, and that's it. So the thing that I wanted to talk about is not necessarily the model itself, because you can see the results here. What I wanted to discuss a little bit and probably just fill in some of the gaps in the videos is the creation of the guitar as well as the watch. So unfortunately I don't have the original models of those assets, but I'm going to tell you just a little bit how I approach something like this, creation of something like this. I usually go online and I look for something that is resembling the asset that I'm about to create. So in this case, if I was to make a guitar, I would naturally search for a guitar model. Now, there are several websites that provide different assets. The thing that I do personally is that I pretty much never buy anything from those websites, and this is not a critique of the websites. I'm not saying anything, I'm not advocating for anything against them. It's a good resource. They are a good resource, but the problem that I find is that if I am looking for something like this guitar, I will not find the exact replica, right? I will find something similar or close to that. And if I'm looking for a like high quality asset, it's going to cost me maybe $100, and quite honestly I simply do not want to spend 100 American dollars on something that I will in the end modify and rework, right? So instead I'm looking for the free versions of those assets, and then I do the actual reshaping, right, and remodeling. So in this case there was quite a few things that I did, but I definitely left many original ones in place as well. Very simple work here, just some modeling inside of 3ds Max. It could have been easily done inside of ZBrush. I just find the tools inside of Max a little bit more convenient, a little bit more familiar to me, at least. So that's just a very simple modeling, very simple way of making something like this. This is all connected, I suppose, to the whole theme of the class, taking something that is already there, right, and then just going from there, right, just modifying something, applying a few maybe modifiers or something like that, right, to create the final version. I'm not making anything from scratch. That's what I'm trying to say. Even the bolts in here, I do have all of those things saved up in my archives, because I do have an archive where I have some props and things that I can reuse again and again. Same goes for the watch. I think I have something opened up. So this is the watch. I think this is the model that I actually bought, and just to kind of show you what I meant about not the models usually not being of a good quality, at least the free ones. You can see that the screen here is offset, right? It's a small thing, like a 1 millimeter, but it's not really a small thing, because how can you make such a mistake? That's my question, right? Here, in general, this is a very small mistake. What I'm saying about mistakes is that how do you sell something that has this kind of mistake? You obviously need to check your assets, right? At least that's my approach to making things. But anyway, I was happy to find this watch for free. Definitely, I'm not bashing the artist. So I did modify the watch a little bit, because this is a Rolex, and Lex is using, at least was using at the time of the recording, an Omega watch that Joe Rogan gave him during one of his podcasts. So the watches, they look quite similar. So I did some small modifications, just removed some things, replaced other things, left the band, or the wristband, I guess, I suppose, the bracelet intact, right, the metal one. And yeah, just basically say it again, that it's kind of a matter of reusing things, right? If it's available, why not take advantage of that instead of just doing everything from scratch? So even those two assets, they were pre-made. I mean, even the flower, you can see it in the videos, but even that, I just bought the flower and then did some modifications, right? The only thing that you see here from those kind of hard surface things is the microphone. And the reason why I didn't quote unquote buy, and when I said bought, they were all free of charge, right? There is no infringement on the property rights. Everything was free of charge. So the only reason why I didn't look for a microphone to buy one is because it's just a very simple model. It's literally just a cylinder, there's another cylinder on top of the other cylinder, and so on, right? And now that I'm looking at some of those assets 2 years later, I can see just how well, kind of skewed some of those things are. I mean, I was modifying them so much that at one point I think I was just using almost like a move brush, right? Just put things in place. I was really frustrated with the way the model was turning out. And the last bit that you definitely see in the videos, but you don't see it in the last shots or in the trailer or on the presentation screen, is the those pieces in here, the tubes inside of the head. And the reason for it is I wanted to make Lex look like a robot, and Hedgie sitting right inside. There are some wires connecting to the eyes. That was the idea, but in the end I decided to remove it because with a shot that is kind of far away like that, there was just a mess, and I could have improved that by creating some lights inside of the head and just kind of highlighting some of those silhouettes better, but I've decided not to do that, simply because it was attracting too much attention to this area, and I wanted to be a bit more not mysterious, but something that you would need to kind of look into, right? And then if you know the reference, if you know who Hedgie is, that's I thought that was just an interesting little thing to add. So I've removed them in the end. They are very simple to make. Again, 3ds Max, it could have been easily done in any other 3D application, ZBrush as well. Very simple things. And yes, that's it for when it comes to the final model, for the final look. But I wanted to show you something else as well, and this is just to illustrate the degree of my mental breakdown that I had when I was making this model. There are many things that I did to experiment. Virtual reality, Donatello going to museums, just basically battling with the whole asset, right? Because I didn't really understand what I was doing. Was it supposed to be a sculpture? Was it supposed to be a video game asset? Was it supposed to be a film asset? Like, what is the end product of this? Because everything just looked very boring to me. I wanted to make something stylized, something perhaps in my own style, but I was just really fed up with everything that I was doing. And so I did some experiments, and this is one of the experiments. So what you see here is looking pretty good, right? It's just a very high perspective. The camera lens is doing some wacky thing, but if I if I was to rotate the model, you can see that it's all done, and I'm going to turn off perspective altogether. You can see that this effect, this illusion of this is just so crazy to get back to this 2 years later and just to see the pit of frustration that I went to. It's so funny. So this is something that I did inside of ZBrush, right? This is this kind of optical illusion. This is just the model doing the actual illusion. This is not the camera working for me. It's actually just the model, right? And I brought this when I was doing the presentation, when I was fighting with the presentation as well. I was playing with the camera and just kind of trying to figure out what was the best angle to present the model, with which to present the model. And I thought that having him standing perhaps something close to this was a good option. I'm happy that I didn't go with that with this option, but I really did like that, right? And then the question is, well, if I did like it in Marmoset toolbag, why the hell did I decide to do this effect on the model itself? And the answer is quite simple, because like I said, I wasn't sure what I would do with this in the end, and I thought that I might print him out. I thought I would do a 3D print of the model, and I thought that instead of creating just a quote-unquote normal printed model like this one, right, something that is normal, it's actually it's possible to print this. There are so many areas that I have taken care of to make sure that it can actually be printed as well. So it's like I said, I wasn't sure what I was doing. Anyway, what I thought that would be more interesting and perhaps even funnier is to print the model this way. And so I imagined that if I had this model 3D printed, I would put it on the table somewhere, right? And if you walk towards this print, this 3D print, and you stand and you look at it from a particular angle, you would see an illusion, right? You would see the model, looking like this one, right? It's almost like you would be looking through a different lens instead of your own eyes, right? Everything around you would be just normal, quote-unquote perspective, but this model would stand out because it just completely skewed, almost like there is an illusion, the optical illusion. I thought that was a very fun idea. I thought I would try something like this. It just, to me, it felt something strange, something unique, and definitely something funny. In the end, I didn't go with this idea. I've realized how silly it was, but I just wanted to show you something that I find amusing myself, especially when I get back to this 2 years later, when I see everything that I did here. I mean, all the tools that I've used, all the little and big things that I've tried, things that I've learned just to make this model that in the end is looking almost like just a normal model, right? It's almost the question is, why did I go through all of this personal hell to make it, if in the end it's just a nice looking model without any trickstery behind it, right? But anyway, just something that I wanted to share with you. I thought it was amusing.